So. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? You're live, tuned into the Mr. Hero Show. I'm super excited to have Miss Arkisha in the building, owner and operator of Lil Dizzes. How you doing today, Miss Arkisha?
I'm doing really good.
Good,
How are
dude.
you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
Man, I'm so excited to have you in this place. First of all, I see you came empty hand. I was hoping you had some of that good food with you, but I'm gonna give you a pass this time. I'm gonna give you a pass.
I was trying to make sure I was on time.
Oh, man, you can be late if you got food with you.
I know a little gumbo don't hurt. Huh?
It don't hurt. It
I got you.
It helped the cause. How you doing?
I got you. I'm doing pretty good. I'm good.
Good deal. So look, let's get into it.
Okay.
Lil Dizzes, owner and operator. But before we go there, we just want to find out a little bit about Arkisha. Tell us a little about yourself.
All right. My name's Arkisha Smith by Kate. I am the youngest of 10.
Nice.
I was born and raised in the 7th Ward in the St. Bernard Housing Projects. And then my mother moved uptown for a little while, but we eventually came to the West Bank in Algiers. And I attended McDonald 32, Martin Berman, and I graduated from the LB Landry
I couldn't wait till you get to that
class of 1993, and I was senior class vice president.
Oh, man. Shout out LB Landry, Bucktown. I'm an alum as well.
Yes.
It's always great to have a fellow alum in your building. So, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. All right, so, Lil Dizzes, how did you get into the restaurant business?
Well, so Lil Dizzy's Cafe is a third-generation restaurant. Okay. It is actually my husband's family. I'm married to Wayne Baquet Jr.
Okay.
So his grandfather, Eddie Baquet, started the family in the restaurant business in the 1940s. And so they started with a restaurant called Eddie's on Law Street. And in between Eddie's restaurant and Lil Dizzy's, there's been a span of about 10 to 12 Baquet family restaurants. At this time, Lil Dizzy's Cafe is the last operating one, but it won't be for long, God say the same. There's always the intention of growth and expansion that we're looking forward to, making sure we continue the Baquet legacy. And so my father-in-law retired in 2020, right after COVID, during the midst of COVID. He was 74, he decided to retire. And so Wayne and I thought about it, prayed on it, cried about it, and then we made the decision to purchase the restaurant from my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, Janet. And we reopened February 15, 2001.
Nice. Okay. And what would that, just talk a little bit about just the feelings behind just going into the restaurant business and opening,
Well, there's a lot of great feelings for me because of the legacy and the history of the family. There are people who open restaurants from the ground up. They start with their restaurant fresh. We are able to be in a position where we're coming in on the history and the legacy of my father-in-law and the work that he's put in, right? And so my father-in-law was open Monday through Sunday. He did breakfast, brunch, and a buffet. Well, when we took over, COVID had just been starting to calm down. Wayne and I, our lives were a little different than my in-laws, where they had that kind of accessibility and time. So we came up with a plan to open just for lunch, no breakfast, and we're open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. He was open from 7 a.m. to 2:30 because he did breakfast and brunch and lunch. And he was open on Sundays. That was his big day. Well, we do one Sunday out of the month. We don't do every Sunday. And the reason for that is our young son, Jace, when we took over the restaurant, had just got baptized and became a deacon in the church. And so we wanted to be able to continue to go to church on Sundays and go have brunch as a family. And so that's why the dynamics is Monday through Saturday, 11 to 3. And then as far as the buffet situation, because of COVID, you couldn't really have an open buffet of food. So we went to the lunch menu, created special items per day and a special per month. We created other buzz, but we still have the same family foods. For instance, gumbo is always going to be a top priority. Fried chicken, those are things that the family's known for. And 80% of the items you eat at our restaurant comes from our family cookbook. And those recipes were created mainly from my mother-in-law, Janet. So there's a lot of history and legacy mixed in there. So I take a lot of pride in being a part of that.
Yeah, I remember the buffet. Hopefully, I'm not telling my age.
No, it was only 5 years ago.
Okay.
So you're all right.
Yeah. I remember the buffet. I remember the chicken, man. But also, it's just not a restaurant. Like, y'all have created, like, a sense of community over there. Like, you know, and just talk a little bit about how y'all made that connection between the restaurant and the community. And
Well,
what that look like.
the thing for us is, I feel like if a person puts in the effort to come to Dizzy's, you know, they didn't walk out their front door and came to Dizzy's. They caught an Uber, they drove. Some people ride their bikes over there, some people walk. There was effort put in. And so to me, I want you to feel welcomed. So the motto that I carry at Dizzy's is, it's going to be Waffle House greeting. You know, you walk in the Waffle House, welcome to Waffle House. So when you come to Dizzy's, they're going to greet you and say, welcome to Dizzy's. And then Chick-fil-A customer service, because we do feed you out of to-go products. When you eat at Dizzy's, whether you eat inside, outside, in your car, it is in some type of to-go format made of paper, plastic, or styrofoam. And so I want a person, if they're sitting in the restaurant, to feel welcome, not like they in a to-go situation, if that makes sense. So at Chick-fil-A, you know, they come, they say, are you done with that? Can I get you something else? Can I take that for you? And that's what I want my employees to give to my customers, make them feel welcome. The food's going to speak for itself. I'll bet my son's legacy on the food. So I'm not worried about that.
You got to convince me, I know.
There you go. It's about how the person feels, and I want them to feel like family. Because in the event they come on a day that there is an issue with the food, I want that family member to be able to say, hey, y'all might want to check this, or hey, this was a little too much, or whatever, because you just never know. Anything is possible. And so if you give people that level of comfort, they won't be so set back to not give their honest opinion or to come and tell you something, because they would care to make sure you're aware of it.
Yeah, and again, you know, I definitely think that's super important. Another thing I just wanted to touch on, like, just you as a supporter of the community. I see you at events. I see the Dizzy's on flyers. You even sponsor one of our events for Race for a Cause. Like, I see you everywhere, not only, you know, supporting, you know, by buying food, going to the restaurants, promoting other restaurants. Just talk a little bit about how important that is, just to preserve the culture with other restaurants.
It's big. What we as a people, black people, have to understand, we got to support each other. We have to support each other. That is like a big deal for me. We have to be there for each other and be honest with each other. You know, I'm not saying you go support people just because they're black. That is not what I'm saying. If the service is not right, the food is not to your liking, that's your money. Spend your money how you want to and be happy about it. But I just feel like sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Meaning, for instance, if I've patronized a restaurant and it wasn't up to my standards, that I felt like, hey, I know this could have been better, I have no problem mentioning it to the person. Just like if I'm gonna go and post and praise how good it was, because I'm only gonna give my honest opinion.
Right.
I have never been anywhere and put something out that I didn't feel the way I felt. It didn't taste the way I felt like it tasted to me. I'm just not gonna do that. Now, does that mean I'm not still supporting people? No. I have places I've gone I did not like at first, but I've gone back. You know why? Because any time that could have been a bad day for that person. And that's how I look at it. I also don't allow someone else's opinion of a business to decide whether or not I'm going to patronize that business. I feel like you have to allow people to be a blackboard where they write on themselves. You have to go into it with a clean slate and allow them to give you what their services or what their product is, and then you decide for yourself if it works for you, if it tastes good, if it's not something you can have. But I say again, it is vital. It is absolutely vital that we continue to support one another, because the money is needed, the support is needed, and that's the only way we could continue to grow is to help one another.
No, I like that. I want to keep it right there since you touched on that. Nowadays, it's very popular for our content creators, our food evaluators, our, you know, come check this place out. Just talk a little bit about, like, just how you feel about that space, because it's growing. Like, everyone's a food content
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'll tell you, I get so many emails, DMs, where someone will send a message and say, hey, I'm a food content creator, I'm coming in town and I like to do a collaboration with you. And my first thing to them is, you're more than welcome to come and dine with us when you're in town. And then it's a pause, because then they don't know what to say back. And sometimes it stops, but then they'll come back and say, so all I'm looking for is 2-3 comp meals, and I'll give you these reels. You could check my views and that. No, I don't want a bought review. I don't need a purchase review. I need you to come and eat here. Now, if you catch us on a bad day and you got to go write a review about it, I'll swallow that. But again, I will state, I will put my son's legacy on the food that comes out of Lil Dizzy's Cafe. So I don't need to pay for somebody to come and eat at my restaurant and do a review. You know, I just feel like that's unnecessary. And I'm not against food content creators. I kid you not. I think it is a good thing, because a lot of them draw attention to restaurants that may need it. And that is something Keith Lee did. He goes to restaurants that need the support, that needs the reviews, that need the customers. So that's always a plus when you have people that's willing to do that. And here in New Orleans, I give praise to several of our food content creators. You know why? Because they've eaten at my restaurant, and I didn't even know there was a food content creator. Nate, I didn't even know this young man put stuff on TikTok. He came and ate and put it on TikTok. There's so many people coming to eat there from this guy. Tracy, Eat Pat Nola, Ebony. They have so many of these young people that are content food creators locally. Tam, that come and have eaten and supported my restaurant and never asked me for a free Coca-Cola. So I'm not going to allow somebody that is not even from here to email me, DM me, and expect me to feed not only them, because it comes where my husband and I are coming in our 3 children. I got to feed you, your husband, and your 3 children for free? For you to go and put content and you live somewhere else? Keep it. Keep it.
But again, I think that, that's a big part of right now, just food culture. Like,
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's popular. It's on demand. And I'm not saying it's wrong if that's working for them. I don't have a problem with it that networking system is working. I had a young lady come from New York. She wanted to do content, and she asked for 1 meal comp. This was early on. We were just in business, taking over for 2 years. In my mind, I'm like, okay, this is a thing. So when she got there, I said, what is the item you like to try, right? So chicken and a side. But then she wanted to try a po' boy. I said, well, you got to purchase the po' boy. I agreed to this. We're not going to, and I tell any business owner, if you feel like that person has enough pull, because some of them do. Some of them got a lot of pull. I'm not going to pretend they don't. Go for it. Go for it if you okay with giving them something free to eat. I'm not against it. I have done it before.
Right.
But I'm not saying you have to just give away the cow to do that.
But that's what I guess a little bit of my frustration come in, that if you bought the opportunity and you don't expect them to give an honest review, because that can backfire.
Yeah.
If they don't like it and they give an honest review. But if they being paid or being comped, then they feel...
That's one of the reasons I try not to do that, is I want you to come and eat there and say how you feel. How was it to you? What did it taste like? I had a young lady came Ash Wednesday 2 years ago, and we did a seafood gumbo because it was Ash Wednesday. We're a big Catholic city, no meat the day after Mardi Gras, right? And they did a seafood gumbo that I did not want to do, but it was, hey, it's Ash Wednesday. We did it. It was a fail. It was a flop. And this young lady wrote about it on Facebook. It went viral. I went back to her and addressed it, and I asked her to come back. I didn't realize she lived out of town. Well, guess what? She came back a month ago, 2 years later, and she raved about the gumbo. She loved the gumbo. She said, well, this must have been what I was missing. And so that's what the thing is for me. I didn't give her that first gumbo. She just tried it. So if somebody's going to give you their honest review behind their hard dollar, that's what you want. That's your go-to. I've had people come that have been content creators, set up their tripod. They got somebody with a light over them with the food. And I have given them something else to try because I liked the way they came in. I liked how they They talked. I just like that person. So I have said, won't you try the bread pudding to close out this meal?
Nice.
If they didn't get gumbo, but they got a catfish plate. They have chicken, but they didn't get gumbo. Try this gumbo, because we known for gumbo. So that's how I look at it. I use that as a platform.
Yeah, and again, I definitely want to touch on that because I feel like the market right now is really being oversaturated.
It's saturated. It is saturated with content creators. It is. I can't not say that's the truth. I tell any business owner to use it at their opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I enlisted a content creator, Nate, the guy, to come back and talk and eat with me and have a conversation. And I paid him to do that because I wanted people to know more about the restaurant other than just the pork chops. Because he ate pork chops. So I wanted them to see other food that we had. And I solicited and paid him to come and do that.
Right, yeah, I mean, but again, I'm gonna keep telling my age. You know, back in the day, we saw the pictures that looked good. We saw the video with the smoke. Just to get the people.
It's engaging. Oh, I agree, and that's what I use my social media for, to engage customers and invite them to come. So when a customer gets there and they say, "Oh, I saw you on YouTube. You the reason I'm here. This food better be good, like you said." Again, I bet my son's legacy on it, baby. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. I'm not gonna change. This is not no play thing. This is real to me. This is my family's history. So I'm consistent and where I stand on coming to the restaurant and people coming to eat.
Listen, I saw that fish plate with that crab meat on top of it.
There you go.
I told the team, I said, our next team meeting is at Lil Dizzy. Put it on the calendar. So
there you go.
Definitely, I'm super excited, man, to go check that out. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about you. How you balance all this?
All right. So I am I tease my husband and say this, or my husband teased me. I am a street runner. That means I'm a person that likes to be outside.
Nice.
I believe in living life to its fullest because when I look back over my life and I see where God has brought me, He's given me these blessings for a reason.
A word.
To live it. He's put me in this position for a reason, to enjoy these things. And so I strongly believe in doing that. I believe in going to, I'm a Mardi Gras person. Like, that's my favorite holiday over Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Ooh.
Mardi Gras is first. My birthday is second, and then come Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that's because of the food and gifts a little bit. So Mardi Gras is big to me. I ride with the Mystic Crew of Femme Fatale every year. I was recently a member of the crew of Nande. I've been a member of the crew of the Culinary Queens. You know, I rode in 3 parades in 1 year, twice. I did Zulu, Nande, and Femme Fatale, 2 years back to back, 3 different parades. Nice. And loved every bit of it and didn't miss a ball. Oh,
we gotta get you on this West Bank and one of these parades. Okay.
I've been in Nassau. I've rode in Nassau twice. You know, so I believe in that. So to me, I try to prioritize what's first, but I always try to make room to enjoy and have fun, because once you close your eyes, it's over. You can't take none of that with you. You can't take none of that heartache and headache, that stress. All that stuff will still be here when you close your eyes. So you put it in perspective and you give it to God and you live. You know, when they say if it don't kill you, it only makes you stronger. That's real. People don't believe that that's real. That is a realistic thing. If you're still living and breathing, then you're fine. Now, you may not be happy. You might be mad. Your feelings might be hurt, but you're still alive. So then what you gonna do? You gonna stay in that? I'm not.
And so, to that person who's thinking about opening up a restaurant, who's looking at you and saying, "Oh man, I like her life, and
I want to do it.
I want to do it."
I tell anybody to go for their dream, but this is work. This is work. This is not something that is gonna be a cakewalk. It is hard work, mentally, physically, and emotionally. It is. Now, the blessing that I have is I have my husband, who is a partner in this with me. I am the front of the house. I am the face of the brand and all that. Yes, I am. But I don't file no permits. My husband takes care of that. I don't pay nothing, the write out bills. My husband takes care of that. So I'm blessed to have a partner that is helping. Now, can I do those things? Yeah. I surely could do it, but I'm in a position where I have somebody that helps me, that is a true team player with this thing. Now, mind you, it's his family's legacy, so I don't see how he wouldn't be a player. But there are some people in this industry, they do everything. And the other blessing I have is I'm not responsible to cook anything. A lot of business owners, black business owners, they are the chef, the owner, the cashier, the bus boy. Those people are holding down so much, and they making it work. That's true influence from me. When I watch, for instance, Brittany Walker from B Sweets. She's amazing. Amazing. She's amazing. I'm talking about you go in there at B Sweet Bistro on Rampart, baby, and she in there hugging, kissing babies, making French toast, stuffing beignets, and coming out and talk to me all within 25 minutes. That's working your business. I think about Chef Blake, Tasty Treats food truck. This young lady's go cater. She got a set of twins that's only 2 years old, and she's got that food truck under Claiborne Bridge right now. You know, I look at Justine. She's making drinks behind a bar. She's hosting. She's you know, it's a lot of things that's taking place where people are multitasking to make their business run. And my biggest role model is definitely gonna be Chef Marlon, Chicken's Kitchen. That man there. He ain't just big in stature. Yeah. he big. And he thinks outside of the box. And he doesn't have a problem with sharing his resources. He doesn't have a problem with giving back. He doesn't have a problem with supporting. All that pours back into you positively. And when you see those things in the community, it just makes it even better. You know, for me, like I love going to Heard That Kitchen and seeing Tia and her dad over there. You know, there's just so many places in this city that I like to go eat and love to support because I see these people pouring into their business. I see these restaurant owners and family members making it work, and it's just a good thing to see. So if somebody wants to start into this restaurant business, they gotta be prepared to stay consistent and be committed. You can't come in this for a show. You gotta come in this ready to put your boots on the ground and work.
And so, in saying that, the culture of the restaurant business, you know, the upcoming restaurants, the new restaurants, you know, are we making way for new restaurants? Are we, you know, preserving the ones we have? So, like, no.
No, I think the city is open to new restaurants all day long. If you look at from COVID, when people were cooking out of their houses, selling plates, and then they started these food trucks just start coming out of the works, which was convenient, which was good and needed. And then a lot of those food truck vendors now have brick and mortars. A lot of those food truck vendors have brick and mortars. Fantasy Taco. Chicken Kitchen used to be a food truck. He sold food from his house. There's somebody else. Like, people had these entities of selling food, and now they're in a position where they have full operating restaurants. So, Orleans Brothers, when you look at Twin and the work him and his wife put in,
phenomenal. They just expanded too.
There you go.
Phenomenal.
It's there for the grabbing. You got to want it.
You gotta work it.
There is nothing stopping us. Nothing. Anybody that really want to be in this industry, in this business, you could do it because it's out there. The people want to be fed.
Oh, yeah.
People want to come and support and eat. I promise you they do.
Yep. Eat, try new things.
And try new things. You know, it's out there.
And so, you know, give me your thoughts. You know, we're going to start leading into the hot seat. Give me your thoughts on just the food trucks and the food vendors on the Claiborne Bridge. I went in there a few times to support those vendors.
I might have to get my fan on that. Wait a minute. Let me get my fan, y'all, because he's going. Woo. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just give me your take on that. Because, again, like I said, you know, I supported, you know, a few businesses down there at the Claiborne Bridge. That's the reason I asked you the question before to lead into this one about new businesses. You know, are we doing everything we could as a city, as a community, to make room, you know, for those businesses?
I think there may be some policies and procedures that have to be put in place.
Okay.
Because we want to have safety first.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be feeding people and things are not clean or things are not up to par. I'm fine
Wholeheartedly agree.
if we're starting with that.
Yes.
Safety, preparation of the food, cooking of the food. If that is done right, I'm in support. You could be cooking it out the back of your trunk. If those things are right?
Of course.
I eat almost every Tuesday or Thursday from Love Orleans under the Claiborne Bridge. She's right across from Circle Food Store. She's by herself. There's no other food vendors over there that far down. It's just her. And she's only there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So out of the week, one of those days, that Tuesday or that Thursday, I'm going to get me, Jason, my husband, those tacos, right?
Okay.
And then Chef Blake is now under there.
Yep. I saw Chef Blake. I went
And
to
she's
Saddle
closer to us. She's right. If you go to Claiborne and Esplanade and make a right, she's in the next block, right there. I've never gone at night and eaten during the festivity hours under the bridge. And I'll tell you why. One, I live on the West Bank. Once I leave Dizzy's and go get my son, I'm already over there. So it would make it hard to come back. That was an issue for me, right? The other thing was I noticed some disruption or activity that I would see on social media that I didn't feel comfortable to be involved in. Right? I'm not judging anybody.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with none of that. But at the end of the day, my family's safety and my safety is first and foremost. But I have employees and relatives who have gone to several of those businesses and have came back with great reviews.
Nice.
Great reviews. The gentleman that does oysters
Yeah.
had great reviews because I like char-grilled oysters. So I was sending people, to be honest, I was like, look, go over there and tell me what they got under that bridge. Because I want, because I wanted to get to a point before it got shut down to support. My guy that does the shake back, he does the holler thing where he go, like an eagle or a bird. I love him. I love him. So his food, I heard great reviews about. And he's a supporter of Dizzy's. Like, he comes to Dizzy's, And shout out to him because he's got a festival June 27th.
Nice.
At the park. I can't think of the name of it. But I think that would be a great thing. I love the fact that they had created that community under the bridge because so many people were able to go and support them.
Right.
But again, I think some things out of
Safety,
order
of course.
caused the city to move in the way they did.
Yeah, because we had built the area for food trucks. Like, I know they had like the
Off of Chapatulas?
Yeah.
It was like a yard
Yeah, with
where
the
all
paint
these
art.
food trucks
Yeah.
could go. I'm not sure what one, my son's barber brought that up. He asked, he said, what happened to that area where all the food trucks used to be? And nobody really had an answer. And I think that should be something the city looks into, creating a space. Because they have them in other parts. Like, from what I understand, Baton Rouge has one where there's a food truck, almost like a park, those SUVs, mobile home parks, but it's a food truck park. I think the city would thrive off of something like that. And I'm not saying Claiborne couldn't have been it, but the issue too was at the end of the day, we're leaving all this debris, all of this food, all of this trash, and we're already fighting a rodent problem in the city. So you created this festive situation where it became an abundance of that. And I think that played a part too.
Okay. All right, let me give you a step out of the hot seat then.
I'm here for
All
it.
right. All right, what's your favorite thing on the Little Dizzy menu?
A hot sausage po' boy dressed with cheese, extra pickle.
Ooh, that sounds good. All right.
That's my favorite thing.
Who's your, I guess, celebrity or favorite person that ever ate at the restaurant while you was a co-owner?
My favorite, it's going to be Chef Gordon Ramsay. And I'll tell you, Gordon Ramsay came to Disney. And the reason I'm saying Gordon is because he's perceived to be like this mean person, right? That he's going to come in and be mean to you and your staff. He wasn't nothing like that. He just was so cool, so down to earth. He came on a Wednesday the first time. He was filming his show, Kitchen Nightmares, and he was working with Fox Sport. And they asked, could he come to Disney's? They was filming a commercial that was go live for the Super Bowl that was in New Orleans. So I said, okay, he came on a Wednesday. Awesome. He had chicken and gumbo. Well, the next day, the Thursday, his producer called and said, Gordon wants to know, can he come back the next day? he came back to production and talked so much about the food, he wants to bring his team. Well, the next day was going to be a Friday. Friday's a busy day for me. Friday's busy. I said, well, either you come in the morning before we open or come after we close. I said, I can't have Gordon come in the middle of business because it's going to cause a disruption.
Yeah,
people go get caught up. They want to talk to him because
Yeah.
he took time and took pictures with everybody. He talked to people, but it stopped the flow of the restaurant. And Friday was my day.
Right,
And so they called back and said, okay, can he come at 9, between 9 and 10? I said, yep. And he came back that Friday with his staff, and we fed him chicken and gumbo. And so to me, that was awesome.
Nice.
That's big. You know, Gordon Ramsay ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Hey, listen, I watch Kitchen Nightmares all the time. Old episode, new episode. I think if
He's a nice person. I kid you not. He really is a nice person. And maybe, you know, with Kitchen Nightmares, he has a role to portray.
of course.
But when he came to eat with us, with Fox, and with his own team, you know, I wanted to see if it was going to be a difference. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not. He was consistently, hey, how you doing? Shook hands, took pictures, did everything, and he talked about eating more gumbo.
Yeah, I think it's more because I watch Kitchen Nightmares a lot. Every restaurant he went to, you put the food in front of him, it's like,
I know.
everybody
I know.
looking around the corner to see
I
the
know.
reaction on his face. Like,
Well, we
and the
did that
kids
when
just
he ate the
like
gumbo.
it.
We were like, oh my God, let's see. He ate all of his gumbo. See, that to me, that was big. He ate all of his gumbo. He ate a leg and bit off a thigh, and then he was finished. But he had already ate a whole gumbo. So to me, that's a win.
Okay. Tell us something about Lil Dizzy that people don't know that would surprise them.
Well, one thing about Lil Dizzy's is the name. Everybody doesn't really know what the name is. They think it's for Dizzy Gillespie. The name of the restaurant is named after my husband's oldest son, Zachary Baquet. He was a trumpet player. He still is a trumpet player. He attended St. Aug High School, and he played in a band. And so when he went to try out for the band, he blew his trumpet and his cheeks inflated like Dizzy Gillespie. So they called him Lil Dizzy, and the name stayed. And so my father-in-law, he had a restaurant called Zachary's a few years before Dizzy's, and it had closed. He sold it. So he called Zachary on the phone to ask him for a name for the new restaurant. And he didn't answer. His voicemail said, "This is Lil Dizzy." And my father-in-law said, "That's it. That's what we going with." And so that's how the restaurant got its name. It's named after him.
Nice. Oh, man, I love that. Okay.
I love that, too. I love that for my son.
So what's next for Lil Dizzy? I heard you probably hitting
Well.
something. What's coming down the pipe,
So what we're trying to do is make sure we continue to do well at 1500 Esplanade Avenue. We take a lot of pride being located in the Treme neighborhood. You know, that's the oldest black neighborhood in the United States. Right. So there is so much pride of being on that corner, Esplanade and North Robinson, in the Treme. You know, that's my flagship. That's going to always be my number one. But we do plan to try and not only have another restaurant in a different location at some point, hopefully in another city. Hopefully in an airport, whether it's New Orleans Airport or Atlanta Airport. These are things, you know, you speak it into existence.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what we want, because this is not playtime over here. Me and my husband not over here playing restaurant. We are building a continuing legacy for our children, right? My youngest son, Jace, 13 years old, he knows how to make gumbo, potato salad, and bread pudding. Jace knows how to use the register. Jace has played cashier, greeter, po' boy person, and been in the kitchen with the chef. The only thing he can't do is fry food, and that's my decision. Right. I'm uncomfortable with him frying anything. So they know when he's in the kitchen, he's not allowed to fry chicken, seafood, or anything. I'm just uncomfortable with that right now.
Okay. All right, last question. I'll leave you the last thought. What do you want us to know about you that we don't know? So we talked about the business, something about you that we don't know.
Well, I want people to know that I am very passionate. I'm very passionate, because sometimes when people come to the restaurant, I've had feedback where, because I talk very loud. I'm an aggressive person in speech-wise. That's just how I talk. So it's like, they're like, man, she's screaming. You know, that's just pretty much my nature. I'm very outgoing, and I'm committed to being happy. I say that constantly. I'm committed to enjoying life to the fullest. I'm committed to seeing things in a positive manner. Because when you've seen so much negativity, when you've lived through so much negativity, I don't want to go back. I don't want to relive all those things. I want to continue to grow and allow myself to just be happy and enjoy these blessings. And that's what I'm going to do.
I like that. I like that. So again, thank you so much for joining us. This was an amazing
Well,
event.
thank y'all. I
Keep
appreciate
up the
it.
great work.
And you keep up doing what you're doing. The youth need you. You know, and that's another thing. I am on the board of the Roots of Music. I do work with Anna's Place, which is across the street from Dizzy's, that has a summer program and after-school program. I am truly dedicated to pouring back into my community, back into the youth, because it's needed. You know, young people need to see positivity. They need to know that they are capable of achieving more, you know, and if we can always help somebody, we winning. Because there's no need for me to keep growing and nobody's going with me. That makes sense. So.
No, again, thank you so much for all the work you're doing, what you're doing in the community, with our youth, you know, opportunities that you're creating for our youth and families, man. We are definitely grateful for that, and I look forward to keep on working with you, partnering with you. And
Yes, sir.
again, whenever you call on me, the answer is yes, you got me.
Yes,
So
sir.
again, keep it up, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, you are regular. Okay.